Dear student, today we shall discuss another important form of restrictive lung disease that is known as pneumoconiosis. So let us try to define pneumoconiosis. So pneumoconiosis is a term that is used for the all disease of lung that is caused by the inhalation of the dust particle. So pneumoconiosis is not represent a single disease, that represent a group of disorders that are associated with the prolonged exposure or inhalation of the different kind of dust particle. So different kind of dust particle when deposited in the lung parenchyma, that can lead to the different type of manifestation and pathological changes in the lung parenchyma, and that is collectively known as pneumoconiosis. So pneumoconiosis is a part or a component of a restrictive lung disease, because clinically it is associated with the reduction in the lungs expansibility, restriction in the lungs expansion capacity because of the fibrotic changes in the lung parenchyma. And it is also known as occupational lung disease, because most of the disease are associated with their occupation. The people who are working in the different kind of factory, like asbestos factory, mines, coal mines, or silica exposure, that are associated with pneumoconiosis. So it is, since it is associated with the occupation of individual, so that is also called occupational lung disease. And as it is associated with the involvement of the interstitium, so it is also a component of interstitial lung disease as a whole, because interstitium undergo involve most commonly in the lung parenchyma and undergo fibrotic or nodular changes. So that is also associated with the interstitial lung disease. So pneumoconiosis is a part of restrictive lung disease. It is also known as occupational lung disease, and it is also a component of interstitial lung disease because of the involvement of interstitial component of lung parenchyma, mostly fibrotic changes. So let us see what are the different kind of pneumoconiosis. So pneumoconiosis is type or classified according to the nature or character of the inhaled dust particle. So if it is caused by the inhalation of the coal dust particle, it is known as simple coal worker pneumoconiosis. If it is due to the exposure or inhalation of the silica particle, it is called silicosis. If it is due to the asbestos inhalation or exposure of asbestos particle, it is called asbestosis. So asbestosis is a different form of pneumoconiosis, because it involves the not only the lung parenchyma, mostly fibrotic changes, but also involve the pleura. Pleura undergo pleural thickening, pleural fibrosis, pleural plaque formation, pleural effusion, pleurisy, and sometimes it is differ from the other type of pneumoconiosis because it is carcinogenic. That is the most important point here, that asbestosis is associated with malignant changes in the pleura, in the lung parenchyma, in the form of bronchogenic carcinoma or mesothelioma when pleura is going to involve. So this is the very important significant point regarding the asbestosis, because it is associated with malignant changes. Sometimes pneumoconiosis may be due to the exposure of beryllium particle, that is called berylliosis. And berylliosis is very important in this sense that it is associated with the pathological changes in the lung parenchyma is associated or due to the hypersensitivity reaction. So that is berylliosis, and that granulomatous inflammatory changes are going to seen in the lung parenchyma. So that is berylliosis. Similarly, if it is due to the inhalation of the iron particle, that lead to the cause pulmonary cirrhosis. Similarly, the less important type of pneumoconiosis, that is sometimes associated with the inhalation of the moldy hay particle exposure that contain thermophilic actinomycosis spore, and their inhalation may lead to the development of a disease that is known as farmer's lung. Sometimes another less important type of pneumoconiosis, that is known as bagasosis, because this disease is associated with the exposure of inhalation of the again thermophilic actinomycosis seen in the sugarcane factory or sugarcane worker, or those people who are associated with the paper mill factory or cardboard formation. So if they are associated with the inhalation of this kind of agent known as bagasse, and that bagasse is associated with the inhalation of the spores of thermophilic actinomycosis, and that lead to the a different kind of pneumoconiosis known as bagasosis. So people who are associated with work in the in the paper mill factory or in the sugarcane factory, they may they may be associated with the bagasosis, a form of pneumoconiosis. Similarly, another type of pneumoconiosis is seen, that is known as bacinosis. So bacinosis is associated with those people who work in the cotton factory because of the inhalation of the cotton dust or fiber particle, and that lead to the bacinosis. So those शब्द है bagasosis and bacinosis. Sometimes most very commonly MCQ question is asked about bagasosis and bacinosis. Their causative agent is very important. So these are less important type of pneumoconiosis. So as you see here, that there are different kind of pneumoconiosis that are decided, or that is classified on the basis of nature of character of the inhaled dust particle. So these are the some important type of pneumoconiosis you must know. The most important pneumoconiosis that is very commonly asked in the examination, and it is important also, and it is due to the inhalation of the carbon dust particle. So that is known as coal worker pneumoconiosis. So let us try to study slightly more detail about coal worker pneumoconiosis. So as clear from the name that this type of pneumoconiosis is due to the inhalation or exposure of the coal dust particles. So those people who are living or working in the coal mines, they are very commonly prone to develop this kind of pneumoconiosis known as coal worker pneumoconiosis. So in this condition, the coal worker pneumoconiosis, the development of pathological changes in the lung parenchyma in case of coal worker pneumoconiosis will decide by the many factors. So that is what is the size of the dust particle. It has been seen that if the size of the dust particle is more than 5 micrometer, so they can cause pneumoconiosis very rapidly. So size is very important. The nature of the dust particle is very important, whether it is soluble or whether it is insoluble. Amount of dust particle which is inhaled, it is very important, because if the exposure is in large amount, that initiate a different kind of pathological changes in the lung parenchyma. What is the immunological status of the patient? It is also decide the pathological changes in the lung parenchyma. Another, whether the patient is associated with the other disease like tuberculosis or bronchogenic carcinoma, or exposure to the other type of particle like silica particle, asbestos particle. So they may lead to the pneumoconiosis in very rapid way, and the pathological changes will be seen in more advanced and more early stage when there is a coexistence of other diseases in the patient. So in this we want to say that development of pathological changes in the lung parenchyma as well as the etiopathogenesis will be decided by the many factors. What is the age of the patient, what is amount of he is exposed, what is the duration of exposure. It has been seen that for the fully development of changes in the lung parenchyma in case of pneumoconiosis, that required about 10 to 20 years. So duration is very important, amount is important, nature of the dust particle is important, immunological status is important, presence or absence of any other comorbidity is very important. So in this way, by the different factor decide the whole pathological changes or pathogenesis of pneumoconiosis as a whole, not only the co-worker pneumoconiosis, but pneumoconiosis as a whole. But here we are discussing about the co-worker pneumoconiosis. So pathogenesis, as we have already discussed in the previous class, as a common, which I try to make a common concept about the etiopathogenesis, but let us try to remember and try to recall the pathogenesis. So following after the inhalation of the coal dust particle for the long duration, if the size of the particle is large, they are going to deposited in the lung alveoli in the lung parenchyma. Some of the dust particles are expelled out by the ciliary movement, and some are engulfed or destroyed by the pulmonary macrophages. But most of the dust particles are going to deposited, aggregated in the alveoli, and here it initiate the inflammatory changes. So all the pathological changes due to the inhalation of the dust particle is because of the combined action by the action of inflammatory reaction induced by the inhaled dust particle, immunological reaction, hypersensitivity reaction, direct cytotoxic injurious action by the dust particle. So all these reaction and mechanism decide the development of disease. So following after the aggregation of the dust particle, they are engulfed or they are surrounded or they are destroyed, phagocytosed by the pulmonary macrophages. And pulmonary macrophage is the major cell and major component that initiate the pathological changes. So in case of cold worker pneumoconiosis, the changes depends upon the duration, how much amount of the dust particle is inhaled, what is the duration. So as the duration progresses, different changes are going to see. In the initial stage, when the dust particles are aggregated, they initiate the inflammatory reaction, and the dust particles are engulfed or laden along with the macrophages. So macrophages laden dust particles are seen in the lung parenchyma, especially in the alveoli and alveolar wall. So this type of changes is known as simple worker pneumoconiosis. So these changes are associated pathologically that a lesion that is known as micule formation. So micule is nothing but it is a small black focal lesion in the lung parenchyma, and most commonly it is seen in the lower part of the lower lobe of the lung, and it appears just like a small black spot like lesion, and the size is about 5 mm in diameter, and most commonly whole bilateral or most all lung parenchyma can be involved, but most commonly it is seen in the upper lobe. Upper lobe is very commonly affected, and that lesion is known as micule, and when it becomes palpable, it is known as nodule formation. So at this stage, this type of pathological changes is known as simple cold worker pneumoconiosis. तो सिंपल वर्कर pneumoconiosis में सिर्फ मैक्यूल फॉर्मेशन होता है, नोड्यूल में भी बन सकता है, नोड्यूलर फॉर्मेशन, देयर इज ए फाइब्रोटिक चेंजेस स्लाइटली स्टार्ट इन दिस condition. So that is known as this stage is known as simple stage, simple co-worker pneumoconiosis. But as the disease progresses, so macrophages play a very important role here. जैसे जैसे डिजीज प्रोग्रेस करेगा, एक्सपोजर होते रहेगा, तो उसके बाद डिजीज का प्रोग्रेशन जैसे जैसे आगे बढ़ेगा, the macrophage becomes more active, and that macrophages initiate two type of major function. One is that is the function that lead to the cytotoxic factor that is chemotactic, mainly chemotactic factor are going to released by the activated macrophages in the form of interleukin 6, interleukin 8, tissue necrosis factors, leukotrienes that are released by the activated neutrophil. So macrophages start to activate the neutrophil, and that neutrophil releases various kind of cytotoxic factor, chemotactic factor that initiate the injurious changes or inflammatory reaction, destruction of lung parenchyma. So this kind of changes are seen when the disease is going to progress. In the same time, the activated macrophage releases various kind of fibrogenic factor like interleukin 1, tissue necrosis factor, platelet red growth factor, fibroblast growth factor. So they are released by the activated macrophages, and they are also incorporated with the T lymphocytes. Cell mediated immunity is also going to play the role, and the most important, the T helper cell really play the role in the form of activation of macrophages that releases the chemotactic factor as well as fibrogenic factor. So as the disease progresses, the injurious changes are going to start, the inflammatory reaction is going to more active, and this is followed by the fibrogenic reaction. So fibrogenic reaction is facilitated by the proliferation of the fibroblasts at the site of lesion, and this fibroblasts initiate the formation of fibrous tissue. Collagen fiber is going to produce form, and that lead to the formation of fibrotic changes in the damaged lung parenchyma, and that initiate the changes in the form of massive pulmonary fibrosis. It is also known as massive pulmonary fibrosis, pulmonary massive fibrosis, PMF, pulmonary massive fibrosis is also called the name. Why? Because the fibrosis is more advanced in this stage. तो जैसे जैसे डिजीज प्रोग्रेस किया, सबसे पहले सिंपल वर्कर निमोकोनियोसिस होगा, सिंपल कोल वर्कर निमोकोनियोसिस होगा, उसके बाद द डिजीज इज गोइंग टू चेंज इनटू द अनदर फॉर्म दैट इज नोन एज pulmonary massive fibrosis. So pulmonary massive fibrosis is characterized by the formation of a very important lesion, that is large hard black lesion that is more than 2 centimeter in diameter, and they are present in the form of massive way. So this type of lesion is going to form in the lung parenchyma, that is known as pulmonary massive fibrosis. So this is the second stage. Sometime what is going to happen, as the disease is going to progress, the immunological reaction is also going to more active, and there is a formation of autoantibody formation is going to seen here in the form of antinuclear autoantibody, and that antibody is just like a rheumatoid factor, and so that lead to the development of a autoimmune disease in the form of rheumatoid arthritis. So there is a combination of pneumoconiosis, cold worker pneumoconiosis, along with the development of rheumatoid arthritis, and that can be detected in the blood in the form of autoantibody like antinuclear antibody. So this rheumatoid factor is positive here, so that combination What combination? Pneumoconiosis along with the rheumatoid arthritis is known as Kaplan syndrome. That is the third stage of the simple कोल वर्कर pneumoconiosis. तो कोल वर्कर pneumoconiosis 3 रूप में हो सकता है. That depends upon the duration, progression of the disease. In the initial stage, it is just like simple cold worker pneumoconiosis. Then it is followed by massive pulmonary fibrosis, and in the last stage there may be chance of development of Kaplan syndrome. So cold worker pneumoconiosis is characterized by the 3 main pathological changes in the lung parenchyma. First of all, there is a simple cold worker pneumoconiosis that is characterized by the formation of macule and nodule in the lung. Second, it is followed by massive fibrosis, that is more advanced form of the pneumoconiosis, and third will be the Kaplan syndrome that can be seen in some condition. So these are the changes that are seen in the lung parenchyma. Again, I told you all these changes depends upon the severity, duration, amount of exposure, type of reaction, immunological status, coexistence of other disease like tuberculosis, silicosis or asbestosis or malignant changes. So this kind of factor decide the various kind of pathological changes in the lung parenchyma. Most important changes is fibrotic nodule formation along with the massive fibrosis. This is the most important changes in the lung parenchyma that will be seen in case of in case of cold worker pneumoconiosis. If you go for the microscopic examination, so in the initial stage, when the disease in the stage of simple worker pneumoconiosis, the cold macule is the most characteristic pathognomic lesion, and that is characterized mainly by, this lesion is mainly composed of aggregation of dust-laden macrophages, and these macrophages is laden with dust particle are more commonly seen in the alveoli and in the alveolar wall or in the bronchial wall. Sometimes it is associated with a few network of collagen fiber around the माइक्रोफाज लेडन डस्ट पार्टिकल. तो माइक्रोफाज डस्ट पार्टिकल को इनगल्फ किए रहता है, उसके चारों तरफ थोड़ा सा फाइब्रोटिक चेंजेस इज गोइंग टू स्टार्ट हियर, and the affected alveoli and respiratory bronchiole is slightly dilated without any destruction in the alveolar wall. So sometimes the picture is just like a centrilobular emphysema, but one thing here that the destruction, the alveoli are not, wall is not destructed. So इसको हम लोग emphysema नहीं कह सकते हैं, because only there is dilatation is seen, affected alveoli and respiratory bronchioles are dilated, but alveolar wall is intact, it is not destroyed. So either the changes is in the form of emphysema, but it is not actually a case of emphysematous changes. So this type of changes will be seen in the simple cold worker pneumoconiosis. When the disease go into the another stage, that is the pulmonary massive fibrosis, so in this situation the pathological changes are slightly different. In the sense that there is more advancement of the fibrotic collagen fibrosis formation is going to seen here. So collagen fiber are very dominant here around the carbon pigment, and this the respiratory wall, the wall of the respiratory bronchiole and pulmonary vessel undergo massive fibrotic changes as well as the pulmonary vessel is obliterated. So in this obliteration that and fibrotic changes may initiate in the form of pulmonary hypertension. So pulmonary vessel wall obliterate हो जाता है और फाइब्रोटिक चेंजेस लंग पैरेन्काइमा के अंदर में मासिव हो जाता है, इसके चलते ब्लड वेसल कंस्ट्रिक्ट करेगा. सो देयर मे बी चांस ऑफ डेवलपमेंट ऑफ pulmonary hypertension that will be reflectively lead to the development of right heart failure or right heart hypertrophy in the form of cor pulmonale. So pneumoconiosis in the more advanced stage that are very commonly associated with the pulmonary hypertension and cor pulmonale. There is some inflammatory reaction is going to seen here in this condition. So there will be infiltration of chronic inflammatory cell in the form of lymphocyte, plasma cell, macrophages at the site of lesion, especially in the affected alveoli and in the lung parenchyma. And the alveoli is surrounded, the scar are markedly dilated. So alveoli जो होता है वो स्लाइटली डायलेटेड हो जाता है विदाउट एनी डिस्ट्रक्टिव चेंजेज इन द एल्व्यूलर वाल. सो दिस काइंड ऑफ चेंजेज विल बी सीन इन केस ऑफ massive pulmonary fibrosis, that is the more advanced stage of co-worker pneumoconiosis. But most characteristic feature is that there is a formation of a large fibrotic changes is seen in the affected part of the lung parenchyma. The next, the least that changes that occurs in the form of Kaplan syndrome. So in this condition, it is characterized by the formation of rheumatoid nodule in the lung parenchyma. क्या होता है कि there is a formation of rheumatoid nodule in the lung parenchyma, and this nodule is round in shape. It is formed and with there is a central necrosis. Central necrosis, especially fibrinoid type of necrosis, is going to seen in the affected area, in the affected lesion, and that necrosis may lead to the formation of cavity, or sometimes it undergo calcification. So rheumatoid nodule is going to seen in case of pneumoconiosis because of some immunological changes in this condition, and that immunological changes are in the form of presence of anti-nuclear antibody, or there is detection of sometime rheumatoid factor in the form of IgM or type of autoantibody. So this changes is grossly seen in the affected lung parenchyma. What is this? That is, there is a firm nodular lesion that is known as rheumatoid nodule, and which undergoes central fibrinoid necrosis. Fibrinoid necrosis is going to seen here, and when there is a necrosis, this area is followed by the formation of cavity, and that cavity is sometimes filled with the blackish exudative material, which is come out along with the sputum, or in the form of black sputum or black expectoration. So sometimes this type of picture is seen in case of coal dust pneumoconiosis. If you go for the microscopic examination of the rheumatoid nodule present in the lung parenchyma, it has been seen that there is a central area of the fibrinoid necrosis surrounded by palisading fibroblast, and there is mononuclear phagocytic cell. तो सेंटर में क्या हो गया? फाइब्रिनॉइड नेक्रोसिस हो गया, और उसके चारों तरफ देयर विल बी पैलिसीडिंग अरेंजमेंट ऑफ फाइब्रोब्लास्ट along with the mononuclear phagocytic cell like macrophages. So this type of picture is going to seen in case of rheumatoid nodule which is formed in the lung parenchyma in case of co-worker pneumoconiosis. तो ये नोड्यूल जो बना उसके अंदर फिब्रिनॉइड नेक्रोसिस हुआ, जिसके चारों तरफ फाइब्रोब्लास्ट का अरेंजमेंट हो गया इन द फॉर्म ऑफ पैलिसीडिंग पैटर्न, और साथ साथ माइक्रोफाजेस का एग्रीगेशन हुआ. तो इस तरह का लीजन दैट इज ए वेरी करेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर दैट कैन बी सीन इन केस ऑफ pneumoconiosis, and when it is going to happen, this whole combination association is known as Kaplan syndrome. So Kaplan syndrome is nothing but it is a combination of these two disease, rheumatoid arthritis along with pneumoconiosis. But don't confuse that Kaplan syndrome is only associated with the co-worker pneumoconiosis, but it can be associated with the silicosis, it can be associated with the asbestosis also. So this kind of pneumoconiosis also may lead to the development of Kaplan syndrome. So sometimes question is very commonly asked on in the MCQ based examination on the Kaplan syndrome. You must know. Clinically, patient suffering from the cold-worker pneumoconiosis or pneumoconiosis as a whole usually present with the feature of cough along with the production of expectoration. Expectoration is, in case of cold-worker pneumoconiosis, is slightly mucopurulent or it may be black color. So jet black sputum. This is a very important clinical finding that is sometimes seen in case of cold-worker pneumoconiosis. Jet black sputum. Sputum is very blackish in color. So this type of presentation suggests cold-worker pneumoconiosis because of the presence of carbon dust particle in the expectorant material or in case in the sputum. So its color become black और समटाइम इट इज़ नोन एज जो कैविटी बन जाता है उसका उसमें जो मटेरियल जो उसमें जो एक्यूटेटिव मटेरियल होता है वो भी ब्लैकिश होता है. उसको हम लोग बोलते हैं इंडियन इंक टाइप ऑफ fluid is going to accumulated in the cavity, so that can be come out in the form of blackish color, and it is also associated with the as the disease progress recess in the form of exertional dyspnea, in the form of cor pulmonale, in the form of pulmonary hypertension. It may be associated with the recurrent attack of infection. Tuberculosis is very commonly associated with whole pneumoconiosis, especially cold-worker pneumoconiosis and silicosis. So a patient of pneumoconiosis are commonly associated with tuberculosis because of the cavity formation. The tuberculous bacteria can grow very rapidly, so they can coexist in this condition. It has been seen that in the rare condition that may lead to the bronchogenic carcinoma also because of the presence of the coal dust particle, but it is very rare. But one thing is clear that bronchogenic carcinoma is more commonly associated with which type of pneumoconiosis, that is asbestosis. So this is something about pneumoconiosis as a whole, and detail about the cold-worker pneumoconiosis you must study because a long question is very commonly asked in the university examination and MCQ based examination. So there are also different type of pneumoconiosis, that silicosis, asbestosis, and you must go through the book and you can study silicosis, asbestosis. If you have difficulty you can ask me. So we try to make a general concept of pneumoconiosis as well as interstitial lung disease, and this is sufficient for you purpose. In the next class we shall start the another disease of respiratory system, and I think tumor of the lung. So in the next class, till thank you.